And now moving on to the next session where I wanted to talk about DWSIM flowsheeting project, custom modeling project, and lab migration. So,
Priyam, if you
sir,
want, I can give an introduction.
yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
that
Yes, yes,
you are
yes.
talking quite a bit today.
Yeah.
So for this, did you have you already made a presentation? I mean, slides or something, or you're just going to talk?
No, I was going to directly show them the website. So
Then
no,
I can.
okay, okay,
Then
sir.
I can do that. I can give you some little bit of rest.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay, let me just share my screen. So I would like to talk about the method we got started with in DWSIM, because we have been promoting DWSIM for close to 5 years now. And we started by creating spoken tutorials first, because we thought that was the first thing that we needed to get started with, so that people will be able to teach people how to use DWSIM. And once we figure out how to do something, we will document using spoken tutorials, and we are still using them with some slight modifications and so on. As a matter of fact, I created the first set of tutorials, and later on, because the software changed quite a bit, they got re-recorded by Kaushik, and you would still see my name as the person who wrote the script, but all these tutorials were completely re-recorded. Okay. And then if you see on our webpage, so this is dwsimfossee.in. So the best thing is go to fossee.in, fossee.in. That is our website. And here you can see DWSIM at the middle of this page here. So you click this, it takes you to dwsim.fossee. Okay. So then we started with textbook companion project, but we have not done much in this. Let's see what is in this. There may not be too many, but I just thought I will just tell you. So for 4 books, we have, can you see this? These are the books. These are popular books. The first one is by Himalblo, Basic Principles and Calculations in Chemical Engineering. Then second one is by Felder and Russo. Then Reclitis, Introduction to Material and Energy Balances. Then finally, this is the one, Material and Energy Balance. So every solved example in each of these books has been coded in DWSIM. In other words, supposing you take it and you solve it, you will get the same answer as given in the book. So this is an additional documentation for people who teach Introduction to Chemical Engineering, Introduction to Chemical Engineering, or Material and Energy Balances, and so on. And these are all created by, I think, by crowdsourcing. So let's see if we take this. Some students would have written. For example, this was written by Mehal Kumar Sutaria, BTech Chemical Engineering, SVNIT, Surat. Okay. And you can download the DWSIM code for all the solved examples. You can, of course, you can do it for only one chapter. This is material balances on reactive systems. So you can download DWSIM code only for this chapter. And in that chapter, there are many examples. Supposing I select 5.13, coal combustion process, then you can download this, and this is only one file, example 5.13. This DWSIM code is there. So in other words, it allows you to go and check the code for a particular example or a whole chapter or an entire book. Okay, and download it, keep it with you. This is especially useful for teachers, because you may say what if analysis. You may be teaching Introduction to Chemical Engineering, material balance, material and energy balance, and you may want to use this. You may want to take one of the examples and change a few things and recalculate. We have already calculated and we have given it to you, and you can you can feel free to use them in your classes. Okay, and as I told you earlier, so you can see that it says login because I have not logged in. I have not logged into Fossee, but I am able to access all the things. So it's a very useful material for teachers. So that is something that I explained, the textbook companion project. And if you click that, it actually tells how you can contribute. Okay. At one time, till recently, we were actually giving a honorarium for people who completed a whole book, thanks to funding from the Indian government. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, there was a reduction in tax collection, and the government suspended all the funding. We are somehow supporting the project, continuing the project, but we don't have the money to give us honorarium. But you still get benefits because, as I told you, you get the recognition. For example, if you say introduction to this, let's click this. The contributor is Manik Sharma from NIT Jalandhar. So this person, we know people who gave this link when they applied for higher studies, or when they applied for internship, or when they applied for jobs. They used to share this information. Look, I have done this, go and see my capability. And it has worked really well. If I'm not mistaken, I think there were two students from Shastra. One went to University of Pennsylvania to do his master's degree and maybe PhD afterwards. And he shared the Scilab textbook companion. By the way, we call this textbook companion. Every solved example in the book is coded using this software. Here it is DWSIM textbook companion. There it was Scilab textbook companion. And there was another student who went recently to Cambridge, and he had done some project in OpenFOAM, which is a computational fluid dynamics software. I'm sure similar thing will work for DWSIM also, right? So this is something that I want to point out about the textbook companion project. Then I want to show you the flow sheeting project link. So the details are here, brief summary of the flow sheeting project, and then flow sheeting proposal, what is expected. Of course, if you want to make a proposal, you have to log in. And this is a different project. FOSSEE and Spoken Tutorial are different projects. So you have to log into this. So historically, we maintain two different websites and we have not integrated. So you need two logins. You have to register a username, password. You can log in and you can make your proposal. Okay. And I will show you some of the completed flow sheets. Number of completed flow sheets, 194. Let me zoom it a little bit. And you can see all the 194 projects. And some of the projects are very nice. Let me show you one project. Here it is. You can see here, I have opened DWSIM on my Mac. Here, I want to open this dealkylation. In fact, you will see the complete name after I open this. So you can see this here. So let me reduce it a little bit so that you can see all of it. You can see that this is dealkylation, the production of benzene via the hydro dealkylation of toluene by Dr. Shailesh Agarwal. And he has created this flow sheet. Now, if I click this, the flow sheet will get solved and it becomes red. And as it gets solved, because there are loops, it solves by a trial and error. Okay, that's that. Okay, okay. So all the 194 flow sheets are here. If you click it, it'll come and say, I'm going to have, a PDF file which summarizes this project on the DWSIM code. Both are available. You can download and use that. Okay, all 194 are there. As a matter of fact, this is now made available in DWSIM itself. I don't know whether anybody has seen it. Let me just see, where is this? Here it is. So let me close this. Okay, I don't mind this. Here, this is the DWSIM's opening page. You can see here FOSSEE flow sheets. And all the 194 are there. For this to work, of course, internet access should be there. It picks up downloads, and in fact, you can fire it directly. For example, we can choose anything. Let's say cumene production from benzene and propylene. Okay, author Priyam Nayak, IIT Bombay. Click yes to download or open this flow sheet. So you have this information in your fingertips. So here is a summary of this production of cumene from benzene and propylene. Okay, let me close this. Let me close that. I'm not sure where this. It's probably in downloads. All right, so I can't find it there, but let me see, what is this? Oh, it has already opened it. There it is, cumene production. Sorry, I thought it would save it into a directory. It has not, it has already coded, it has opened, and then I can solve it. So in fact, converged very fast. You can actually go and see the values. If you click this, you'll get the information here. And then of course you can see it in spreadsheet and so on, right? Material streams, I guess. Okay. Of course, things could be slightly different in a Mac. I'm using a Mac, so it may be slightly different in a Windows system. So you can get all the information here. Priyam, why it is not coming in the spreadsheet? Do you know?
Yes, so just click on material streams.
Yeah.
Click on that update data on your right.
Oh.
No, yeah, just yeah.
Yeah, so it has come. It behaves differently in different systems. So spreadsheet also, there might be something similar. Okay, maybe it is not here, but here it is available. All the material streams are available. Okay, so this is all created by students across the country, in fact, across the world. Okay. So let me go to the top. There are some nice, so this is LTS low temperature separator by Mustafa Sami from Cairo University, for example. And we have, there is a contribution from Ecuador. It's a person by name Richard, dividing wall column for tertiary butanol dehydration by heterogeneous azeotropic distillation. And then we have, of course, students across India have also contributed. There is one, this is a person by name Nascimento, University of Federal Fluminense, okay? And this seems to be from canola oil, okay? Ethyl transesterification of canola oil. So anyway, there are many such papers available. This is one from Brazil, okay? Federal University of Brazil. And we have a large number of contributions in India from Sastra University, from various NITs. We have some from Jadavpur. We have some from Uttarakhand. We have some from Gujarat. In fact, from almost every state. Here is one from Kerala and so on. Here is one from Guntur, LIT Nagpur and so on. So we are very happy that students, and once you click that, you click any of them, you get the information, who created this, from which institution they are from, and you get the link, you get the URL. You get the URL as to, which means that they can share this with anybody else. So this is something we found extremely useful for students who are very good, who are doing these kind of things, who are interested in doing these activities, who are interested in demonstrating to other people that they are doing it, and looking to spend more time in these kind of topics. So when they apply for whatever it is, they do this. There is another thing. Yeah.
So how can we contribute to this, sir?
It's all here. It says proposal. See, for example, flow sheeting project. You can see flow sheeting proposal.
Okay. So what's the criteria for selection over here?
All correct simulations will be accepted.
Okay, sir.
Everybody. So who's asking this question?
Abhishek, sir.
Abhishek, what are you doing? Where are you?
Sir, I'm currently a BTech third year student. I'm currently based in Gujarat, sir. Vadodara, Gujarat.
Okay. So Abhishek, we welcome such proposals from everybody. Okay.
Yes,
we
sir.
actually accepted. Of course, there were some proposals which didn't get completed. Obviously, they could not be uploaded. We also have a thing called flow sheets in progress. You can click this also, and you can see that 83 are in progress. Okay, this will also tell you. So you can take any example. You can go and talk to your faculty in charge. You can talk to your teachers and ask for some ideas. You can learn about them, and you can certainly propose. Okay, so we welcome these kind of contributions from all of you. In fact, that's how we built this portfolio. How do you think we got 194 completed? How do you think we have 83 in progress? It all happened because students like you offered to create, and we welcomed all of them. As a matter of fact, sometimes we might even help them. For example, you have some difficulty. Of course, there is no guarantee that we will be able to solve all your problems, but sometimes we might know the answers to your questions, so we address them. Is that okay?
So, can you please tell me how much time does it take for the proposal to get accepted? Like a tentative time duration?
Typically, it takes more time for students to complete it and also to validate. That is something I forgot to tell. We would want people to validate their solution. That is extremely important because all the solutions that we have on our web page are validated. So the students should either compare it with some other commercial simulator, or they take a solution from a journal or from a book or from a software, solved problem, whatever it is. They solve it, resolve it in DWSim, compare the answers and say that, look, I'm getting the same answer as published. Okay. So our people go and verify it and get it accepted. It takes more time for us to do the validation, sometimes 1 month, 2 months, something like that. But typically, I would say that after your proposal comes, it gets accepted in a few days. Priyam, how long do we take?
So, sir, generally, just to inform everyone, Abhishek was asking about a criteria. So initially, the proposal that they submit, we check that it should not have been completed already, or that is not in progress with someone else. So if that is clear, then we generally accept it immediately, maybe in a day or two. Okay. And if we see that, okay, this is a flow sheet which is already existing or it is incompleted, then we write back to the participant saying that, is it the same process that you're trying to do? Maybe you're trying to give a flow sheet which talks.
Priyam got logged out. So sometimes you may produce the same chemical, but through a different process. So that is perfectly okay. Okay. Because we don't want somebody to take a flow sheet that is already available and modify 1 or 2 things and submit again. That is not acceptable, right? It is also unfair to the original contributor. So we make sure that whatever you are offering is not already there. If it is not already there, it could be the same chemical, but different process, as Priyam was mentioning. That is also okay. And within a few days after verification of this, we accept it. And then, of course, we expect you to solve the problem also in a reasonable time. We don't, because, it should not happen that you block that chemical and then don't do this at all for 1 year. Because there may be somebody else who may be waiting to do that, who may be agreeable to doing it. So why should you block him? So that way we also set a limit that maybe 1 month time or maybe 2 months. There are some, though all those things are mentioned there in our outline. For example, procedure is there, submission guidelines, a flow sheeting proposal, everything is explained. Okay, Abhishek?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So we welcome all of you to contribute to the flow sheeting project, because this is the one we believe a lot of possibilities are there. Then the other thing is lab migration project. Lab migration project is also very nice because, in fact, it became very useful during the pandemic. Completed labs. There are completed labs. Actually, we used. In fact, I've been teaching. So design lab is one. We also have a course called process design. So we have 2 courses, CL452 and CL455. Actually, there should have been one more entry because I am myself handling 2 courses using DWSim. Because normally people use, for various reasons, people use some commercial software or other, and they want to migrate. So we encourage people, especially these are done mainly by teachers. They say that, look, we have a lab using some commercial simulator. Let me migrate the whole thing. That is, all the exercises can be done using DWSim. Here, for example, Professor Narain has done this process simulation lab. If you click this, you see that it is in his name, Dr. P.R. Narain, process simulation lab, and you have the whole thing. Title of the experiment. So you have, you can download the entire thing if you want. Download the lab solutions, for example, or you can say simulation of a shortcut column. You want to download only that, you can download only that experiment. And what is this? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so you can, lab migration is extremely useful, and we encourage all teachers to do that. Here also you have the whole thing. You have submission guidelines, lab migration proposal, completed labs, labs in progress, lab migration forms, and Honorium. Only thing is, as I mentioned, at present we are not in the position to give Honorium because we didn't get funding at all for the entire year. Somehow we have survived. Let's see what happens next year. Okay. So lab migration project is something very nice for teachers, because there are colleges that when the team comes for accreditation, they say that, look, we contributed to this and many people are using it, and so on and so forth. So that is something, it's very good. In fact, I want to point out Dr. Subbalakshmi had sent a mail. Let me just see how this works. I'm just telling for accreditation work, for example, this will be very useful.
Sir, I didn't get the term exactly migration here in this context.
Migrating from the commercial software to DWSim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Commercial to open source software.
That's right. So you have a lab, supposing you have a process design lab, right? Using a simulator, and you want to migrate from a commercial simulator to this. So supposing you don't have that lab at all, so then also it is okay. You can say that, look, I'm just started a lab course and we are solving all the things through DWSim. Here it is. We'll be happy to accommodate that. Okay. So here is Dr. Subbalakshmi from VIT Chennai. And in fact, she says that FOSSEE Scilab lab migration, just like we have DWSim lab migration, we also do Scilab lab migration, MATLAB to Scilab, for example. And she says that whatever they have done is used as a reference lab manual in this course of the Singapore Polytechnic. Please find the link. So she has given the link. So if you go there, I checked it, it's all there. Okay. In fact, if you go there, some page comes, and then there you can see operating system, lab report. I think one of these is hers. Okay. There it is. Scilab manual is here. See, this is Singapore Polytechnic and Scilab manual for computer networks by Subbulakshmi, computer engineering, VIT Chennai. So now they get recognition that they created, they contributed, it is being used by other people, in this case from Singapore. So that is something very
Excuse me,
nice.
sir.
Yeah.
So for example, if we create a flow sheet for
Yeah.
a particular process, and then we are validating the data using like something apart from DWSIM, apart from DWSIM. So will that be accepted in the proposal, flow sheet proposal?
Yeah, that's what I said. You can validate it using a commercial simulator, for example. Using Aspen Plus, for example, you may want to validate. Or maybe it is from a paper, research paper. Or maybe it is a solved problem in a book. Okay, answers are already there. You solve it using DWSIM and you get the same answer. So that's how you are validating, right? You're validating your DWSIM solution with some other set of values. It could be from a book, it could be from a research journal, it could be from some other software, it could be from experimental data, whatever it is, right? Do you understand? Abhishek?
Yes, sir, understood. Understood, sir.
Abhishek, where are you from?
Sir, I'm from Gujarat.
You told, what college are you from?
Sir, I'm from VIT University, Vellore campus.
Okay. You are originally from Gujarat, but you are studying in VIT Vellore.
Yes, sir.
VIT Vellore. Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
So you are happy to see that VIT University Chennai people are also working with us very closely. So you can go and talk to your teachers there, tell your colleagues also, because we invite any number of proposals. Okay. But because you are attending, obviously you have an advantage. You can go ahead and contribute. Okay. There is something, Priyam, I'm next going to talk about custom model. You want to add at this point?
No, sir. I think that's not. Vivek asked about how do we verify the results. So maybe a lot of them doesn't have a formal tool. But the easiest way to contribute to this project would be to pick up a paper. Basically, from my is that floating project.
Priyam, actually, your voice is very bad. Your audio is coming very badly. So we cannot really understand what you're saying. You can put it in the chat.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because your voice is breaking. Okay, next I will take up custom model. Okay, custom model is an amazing thing because this is custom model is a little more difficult than flow sheet, because of course you can have a complicated flow sheet, in which case flow sheet also can be a difficult one. So let me just see if I can go back to.
So,
yeah.
So does DWSIM support dynamic simulation?
Dynamic simulation is not supported that well by DWSIM.
For simple processes only, not for very complex processes, but for simple processes.
Some of them, yeah, I think it can do. But tomorrow I'm going to introduce Open Modelica, and that is more suitable.
All right, sir.
Yeah. After that, you can reserve your questions. Then we can discuss after that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let me just see. This is a lab migration project. So let me take up custom modeling project. Now, what is a custom model? Custom model means there it is, it explains. So we want you to create custom models, unit operations, which are not available in DWSIM through the following steps and get e-certificates. Because DWSIM has unit operations, reactors are there, certain things are there. But there could be some specialized processes that can be modeled, not already present in DWSIM. For example, plate heat exchanger. That is something that you can, it was not there and somebody added. Anyway, let me just take this completed custom models. So we have a total of 11 ideas in custom models. Okay, so that's very nice. Priyam, I'm happy that you have already got everything. All 11 are there. Yeah. So you can see that helical coil heat exchanger. If you click this, it says Mr. Swapnil Keshari and from IIT Bombay, and download the abstract, download custom model. Okay. Now these are written in IronPython. Okay. It turns out that all of them are done by our students. In fact, last semester when I conducted this lab course, I told the students that in lieu of doing the lab, students can actually create a custom model. So we have all these students. In fact, they're all students. Here is one student from NIT Warangal humidifier, Harsh Srivastava. So this student is from NIT Warangal. All other students are they are currently in the 4th year. And this, in fact, Rajat Daga has done many things. You can see that he already contributed 5 here. And then as a part of the course also, he created 1 more. So totally 6. This is an amazing thing because in order to do this, the creator has to know IronPython. Okay. And how to do that is already available. We have a spoken tutorial that explains, for example, if you see here. So let me go to DWSIM, go to English, search, and if you see at the bottom, custom unit operation using Python. Okay, this is custom model generation using Python, right? It is possible to do it through Scilab also, but this is a lot more restrictive. So maybe you don't want to try this, but Python is good because you may be learning Python, or you always wanted to learn Python, and somebody said, you know, what's the point? What would you do with it? Here it is. You have custom unit operation using Python. And in fact, there is a very large collection of things available. Let me see if I can find this. Show all bookmarks. I don't know whether it is here. Maybe it is in my Chrome. Let me just open my Chrome and see if I can. I want to show you if I can give you the link. Here it is. If you look at category chemical equipment, Wikipedia, right? Category chemical equipment, Wikipedia, if you look at this, there are many equipment, lots of things available here. Protein skimmer, powder deaerator, plate column, coker unit, chemical tank, cement mill, so on and so forth. Lots of ideas are there, and one can actually create unit operation model using DWSIM, using IronPython. It's a kind of Python, and make it work in DWSIM. And of course, this is more difficult, but then recognition also is better, right? So that is the third one I wanted to point out. So that's all I wanted to say. All of you, please maybe want to mark the attendance while you are waiting. 5 p.m. Let me see if there is any other question. Okay. Does anybody have any question in what I talked just now? We are building a community by our own contribution. People come and contribute, and we ensure the quality. And that is something very good. Yeah, please go ahead. Who's this?
Abhishek, sir.
Abhishek, yeah, please go ahead.
So a small question, like I'm using DWSim for the very first time. First question which strikes to my mind is like, for example, if we simulate a particular process in DWSim and if we simulate the same process in other simulators available, so how will the accuracy differ? Will it be nearly the same, or like how would be the differ? Or DWSim would perform better in terms of accuracy?
A good
I don't
question.
know, sir, about DWSim. I'm doing it for the very, very first time.
No, doesn't matter. Actually, it has nothing to do with DWSim or anything. If you use the correct thermodynamics, same thermodynamics, okay, if you use the same solution procedure also doesn't matter so much. But if you use the same thermodynamics and use this, all other conditions identical, you should get the same answer, more or less the same answer. I mean, there could be minor differences, right?
Yes, sir.
So you should check whether you are using the same thermodynamics. Then it'll work.
So entire thing depends on the property package you're choosing, your accuracy, basically. All right, sir.
That's right. That's right.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
If we simulate a new process, then how would you know that the result by simulation is correct or not?
We want you to validate. So you have to solve it by another simulator also. So an easier thing is to find out if you can start with some simulation available in a research journal, for example. Okay, it may be in a book, or it may be a solved example in a commercial simulator. That's also okay. Because you're not offering that solution to us. You're only comparing results. You're offering everything on DWSim. Okay?
Okay, sir.
You have to validate it somehow. Okay? Otherwise, people will will have the question, how can I accept it? Right?
Sir, if there is a research-based project and there is no way to compare it, so we'll get stimulation or
how
not?
do we know? I mean, how do we know that it is correct? If it is research-based thing, you will be able to publish some journal article, right? If it is research, then that should result in some evidence, some paper, reference paper, journal paper, whatever.
Yes, sir.
And then you do the simulation, you are comparing it with that. So that is okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Priyam, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Because it has gone through one more scrutiny. Some other people have validated and got it, published and so on.
So?
Yeah.
So basically, sir, it means that we should first demonstrate it practically in reality, then we should conduct and process stimulation.
You are suggesting something more difficult. Okay. I'm saying validate it in some other simulator. See if you get the same answer. Right?
Okay, sir.
That is easier,
Okay,
perhaps. Or
thank you, sir.
further, even easier is to locate a solution that is already available. Somebody has explained the process. Somebody has published. Okay, and they have the data.
Okay, sir.
You just take that example, run it in DWSim, validate the results, and then you are in business. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So?
Yeah.
How would you comment on the usability when you migrate from a commercially available simulator such as Aspen to DWSim? Like, will it be difficult or will it be comfortable when you migrate from Aspen or any other simulator to DWSim?
There is a learning curve for somebody who knows. For example, if somebody who knows DWSim, they will take some time to learn Aspen Plus and vice versa, right? So it's also the question of availability, because Aspen Plus is extremely expensive for commercial establishments, for industry, for example, right?
Yes, sir.
In fact, we have a situation wherein we have one copy of commercial simulator, but maybe 20 engineers using that. 20 engineers, but they have to use only one software, only one copy. They cannot make copy of it because they don't have license. They have license to have only one copy. And if they make an illegal copy, they will get into trouble. There will be a lot of damages and so on. Nobody would try an illegal copy at all in companies. right? So in fact, Aditya Birla Group is doing this. They are using DWSIM in a big way, and they in fact have even programmed DWSIM to work with R, so that for a range of values, input values, it will do the simulation, return the results, and things like that. All kinds of fancy things they have done. But even if you don't go to Aditya Birla kind of extent, a company that has 20 engineers waiting to use one simulator may say that let us develop a parallel solution in DWSIM. Okay, they might have Aspen Plus anyway. They might have some other software anyway. Okay, Pro2 they might have. Okay, Unisys they might have. But they might say, let us also do it using DWSIM. Okay, and DWSIM means every engineer will get a copy. Every engineer can work on this. Okay, and they will do all the development. When everything is finalized, then the company policy might be, look, until it is validated in Aspen Plus, I don't want to accept it. So they have a parallel solution in Aspen Plus. They give all the same conditions as I mentioned earlier, right? If thermodynamics, same thermodynamics is given, you should get more or less the same answer. So they choose the same thing. They verify, they say, yes, it is working in Aspen Plus also. So then the plant people will accept it. Maybe that may be the company policy. Of course, if they keep validating every time DWSIM is giving the same answer as Aspen Plus, then people will say, why do we need Aspen Plus? We can work only with DWSIM, right? So such a thing is also possible. So for manpower rich countries like ours, right? Because we have lots of trained people, but capital poor means we are not able to get many copies of the commercial license. We have one simulator, one license, but 20 engineers waiting. So manpower rich, capital poor. For us, this open source solution is extremely useful. Even if the company policy is to use a commercial simulator, even then it is useful. So it is important that all our companies start using DWSIM in a big way. It's going to help them in a big way. Anybody else? Mr. Bhatt, you have a question?
I really could not follow in the beginning because I missed something in downloading the software. I have called my son in the night now to come and teach me these things. We'll go through it. Yeah. My son is a graduate from UBCT. He is a tech from IIT Kanpur that was working for a large shell company.
Right.
Now he is here in Bangalore. He's doing a startup, designing his job.
No, we can help you. Your actually audio is not coming clearly. Maybe one of our people can connect with you. Maybe see what the problem is. See if he can get started.
My son will come in a couple of hours. After that, I will go along through. Tonight, I am going to sit through and go through whatever has been done today.
That's
I really could not follow afterwards because I fell behind when the software was being downloaded with the help of the person.
No, in fact, we sent a message saying that please download, install, and come prepared.
Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah.
And then what happened is I said, as you know, I am now 70. So I am not very familiar with the software.
Your audio is
as you know, I am 70 years old now. I am not very comfortable with all the softwares.
Yeah.
Or working with the computers. Which has come much after I passed out.
Yeah. All right. So we will move on to the next question. Kushal, sorry, I stopped you. If you have a question, you can go ahead.
No, sir, means I was having a question like I have done an internship in Ultratech cement factory.
Mm-hmm.
So there I asked which software they mostly use. They said DWSIM is their reliable software for now, but they are upgrading it. Means for a newer generation. So they are saying that basically we use this software. It is convenient for our use, but we are trying to progress it. and for security reasons, I don't know. They are trying to push new software in their systems.
So this was in which company you said?
Ultratech Cement Factory, sir.
Where is this at?
They Chandrapur. It's near Chandrapur. We can say Chandrapur coal mines. Have you heard of them?
Yeah. Okay, that's very interesting. Ultratech Cement is using it. Okay, are there any other questions?
Sir, this is Kunjan Patel here.
Yeah, Kunjan.
From Nachiket Enterprise. I have a question regarding three-phase separator. Actually, sir, in our company, we are promoting this software. We are already using the software, and I would agree, definitely, this software, the most best advantage of the software is it's very reliable and it's very easy to use and understand. And we are promoting the software, and we recommend the software for others also to use. And sir, my question was regarding the simulation of a three-phase separator. We were stuck up in that process. I will explain you the system. We had a system of for gas, oil, and water. So together, when we fed that system into the separator, I was having some error in the software. So what we did, I separately simulated a gas stream, then entered an oil stream with that, and put it into a mixer. And then when I added water into that, the system was again showing some error. So, sir, it was really, I mean, it looked simple, but seems to be complex. So, and outlet from the three-phase separator, we wanted water from the bottom and a lighter product as oil and gas. So we are really stuck up in this problem. So if you could help in this context.
We are not experts in modeling. So that process, because some of these things are difficult processes, and it is not the question of whether it is DWSIM or Aspen Plus or whatever. That may be difficult. In fact, one of our students in the course that I'm teaching, there are 24 groups of students. Each one is working on a chemical as a part of our regular semester-long course, and each one has to come up with a plant, come up with, identify the technology, go to the patent, figure out what process is followed, and come up with the PFD, process flow diagram, and then do the simulation and so on. And there was one group that had, hydrogen and acetone, I think. And they were doing it at minus 255 degrees, 255. And they had a problem in separating because they had to separate the hydrogen. And finally, Professor Malik, who is going to talk to you on Saturday, he told them, take the top distillate and put it through equilibrium condenser. So which means you can actually elevate the temperature, and at the high enough temperature, acetone is in 40 degrees, he said. Acetone will be in liquid, and it will knock out all the hydrogen. All the hydrogen will go to air, vapor phase, and it can be removed. Otherwise, it is hydrogen itself is difficult, and minus 255 degrees is it will become highly non-ideal. It becomes very difficult to handle that. It's a question of whether it is DWSIM or Aspen Plus, you will have a problem. In a similar way, here also, it is going to be a difficult problem whether you have whatever the simulator is, because it might be a difficult process. You may not know thermodynamics, you may not know things. So this is something you only have to figure out. Domain expertise is something we don't have in the oil industry, for example, right?
Yes, yeah. So it was like the oil from the well contains some gas and water content, and that we have to separate. So that was a system.
That's right. You have to do more literature search and look for papers, look for experts who work in this area, and it might be just a simple idea. Just that I don't have expertise in that area. I can't answer the question.
Okay, sir. And I guess property package I had taken as Peng Robinson. So fine, sir. I will just we'll just look in that.
Yeah, yeah,
Fine, sir.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank all our Mexican friends for being with us through the night. What time is it now in Veracruz?
It's 10 past 6.
In fact, I can see the sun's rays.
6:10.
Sun has come.
6:10.
Yeah, it's right in your house. You have a beautiful house, Rafael.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Doctor.
very artistic.
Thank you.
So, are there any more questions?
No, sir.
Okay, in that case, shall we wind up for today?
Yes.
Okay, then. So, thanks for being with us. Still a lot of people are there. Thanks for being with us through, throughout the day or throughout the night for you. And in case some of the practice problems you have not been able to finish, please try them when you go home, and then see if you can attempt them. In case there are any problems, we'll be happy to address them. First thing, we will meet half an hour early and see if there are any questions that you have that we want to address. One thing that we have to understand is it is actually not a fair comparison to compare a commercial simulator and an open source software. Open source software is created only by Daniel Wagner, one person. He has created this amazing software, right? Whereas if you go to this commercial software, they have a whole establishment to cover this, and also they have been doing it over a period of long time. Of course, that is in some sense a disadvantage in some cases. For example, if you want to create a custom model in Aspen Plus, you have to do it in Fortran. Okay. None of my students in my class that I teach knows Fortran. They can't even spell Fortran. Whereas they are all comfortable in Python, or at least they want to learn Python. Whereas Python is the language to be used for custom model creation in DWSim, right? So as a result, the open source software is a lot more convenient because it's the latest technology, right? So there are some benefits, perhaps more intuitive interface and so on in DWSim. But commercial software, because they have lots of people working with them, and having been in industry for many years, solved many problems, they might have more know-how. But on the other hand, if in DWSim, if you can contribute through community participation, like the way we have done in a very short time, I'm sure DWSim will catch up with commercial simulators. And we have a great opportunity. We have this is a contribution to the community by us, by users of open source software. And of course, it is also useful to our industry, useful to our academia, because imagine in this pandemic, how many students have access to commercial software? Even if we have licenses in our campuses, students may not even be able to use them. They may have to use VPN. Even if they use VPN, whenever the net breaks, whole thing collapses. They have to start all over again. And if they didn't save it, if they are in the middle of some competition, the thing is gone. So there is a problem. So there are many different ways this is useful. So I'm very happy. We are very happy that you have come forward to learn this. This is the first step, and we can do a lot of things together. Okay. Is there any other question? Priyam, you want to add anything?
No, sir. I think we are good to go for today. Just a point that all the participants, whoever want to still practice the tutorials which they have done today, I have already shared the link for the practice problems in the chat. Okay, so it's not that you need to finish everything, but give it a try. Okay, if you are available to do, please give it a try and see what is coming and what is not coming, so that when we meet tomorrow at 9:30, we can discuss that if you have any issues with those practice problems.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
And Madhulika, you want to add anything? Sriharsha, you want to add anything?
No, sir. No, sir. The participants look very enthusiastic, and so we are also looking for the next 2 days. Their enthusiasm will keep us, on our toes for 2 days. And I'm very happy to share that. We are very happy to see people from international participants also, and they are awake all night. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, one more thing. You mentioned about some homework for each day.
No, homework means it is for people who could not complete the assignments.
Okay.
Because we said that you should finish 5 tutorials today. For various reasons, people are not able to complete means we ask you to explore. By the way, you can also go through the tutorial. In case you have finished everything, you want to go through tomorrow's tutorials, by all means, because we have already given the schedule.
Yes.
You can try those also.
Yeah, sir. Sure.
So no need to submit these assignments, sir?
No need to submit assignment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the sessions were very informative, so thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm happy that you could come join us from VIT Vellore.
Thank you for the session. Greetings from Mexico.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye.